Good afternoon, everyone. So I guess Nab lied. It's not him, it's not him between you, the weekend and you, but it's me between the weekend and you. And actually, it's me between the bar at the end of the room and you. So I'm only going to take a couple of minutes to present some closing remarks. I mean, we've had an incredibly rich afternoon. I think we've have a lot of food for thought for the weekend and far beyond that. I thought I would leave you with a few nautical metaphors to sort of summarize the themes and ideas that we've been discussing today. And this presentation was developed in real time, so I was kind of sitting at the back and listening to what everybody had to say and extracting out core themes from that. So I guess you could say I was data mining while this afternoon session was going on. So here are the themes that I extracted. I mean, clearly, mobile data and social media data represent an ocean of opportunity. An ocean of opportunity that is rich with lots and lots of things that we can do. For example, we can learn about interventions in situ, in the field, while people are actually using devices, while people are actually taking drugs. To Isaac's point, we can understand perceptions and interpretations in a very deep fashion, in a very granular fashion like we've never been able to do before. And we can do all of this wonderful stuff at scale and at speed. We can do it in real time. We don't have to wait for 15 years for a randomized clinical trial on a medical device. We can learn about how these things are working from the patients who are using them on a daily basis in their daily lives, in their activities of daily living. This is also the tip of the iceberg. It's the tip of the iceberg because there are so many different things. Whoops, there we go. All right, our technology has not been cooperating very much, but the point that I wanted to make on the tip of the iceberg is, there we go. In terms of the use of technology, not just in the United States, but globally, there are many, many people in the world who are still not connected. We have only 40% of the world's population that's currently on the internet. We have 7 billion mobile phone subscribers, but only 1.75 billion smartphone users. So as these technologies penetrate wider, suddenly our opportunity to learn is not restricted to specific populations only within the United States, but we can learn from the entire world on how some of our devices and interventions are working. We also have a remarkable opportunity in curating new data sources, and we heard about some this afternoon about taking electronic health record data and combining that with social media data, or taking census data, other kinds of geolocation data, and combining that with social media data. So for me, the biggest payoff in extracting value and mining these data is to construct these unique data sources and to say that one single source of truth or one single source of data is really an incomplete picture. But once we can triangulate all of this together, we can get a much richer understanding of what's going on with people's health and wellness in their daily lives. There are also lots of riptides and currents that we have to watch out for, right? So my last sort of nautical metaphor is around the various issues and challenges that we have to address to make the use of this data as valuable as possible. Clearly, there are privacy concerns. There's self-selection biases. Those who chat and report and talk on social media may not be representative of the population that we're trying to reach out to. Gordon spoke at length about causality, and we could spend an entire afternoon talking about causality and correlation and how we have to be careful about the inferences we make. And Bill spoke about signal and versus noise, so trying to identify what are the nuggets that we can extract and what is it that's going to give us the truth as opposed to a spurious correlation is absolutely critical. And I'll leave you with a painting from Jackson Pollock and bring you back to our keynote presentation today. Skip talked a lot about convergence, and I love that. So let me leave you with this idea of convergence, right? What does convergence mean around the topic that we've been discussing today? It really means that this is a transdisciplinary science. It's not confined to the computer scientists or the psychologists or the regulators or the pharmaceutical companies or the data scientists, right? This is an area of opportunity where all of these different scientific disciplines need to come together with the policy and practice communities to truly help us understand in a very deep fashion and to leverage all the new and unique data sources that we have. So let's try to see if we can move towards convergence. So I'll end today with a big thank you to all of the organizations that have made this event possible. The CERSI at the University of Maryland, the Center for Health Information and Decision Systems at the Robert H. Smith School of Business, and of course our friends at the FDA. And a big thank you to all the speakers, who chose to spend their Friday afternoon voluntarily with us. I'm sure they had many other options for where they could be. So thank you all, and enjoy the social hour, social half an hour, 15 minutes, however long you have to stay, right? Thanks.